For more on AI in the movies and in China in general, we turn to Einar Tangen in Beijing. He's a senior fellow at the Taihe Institute and the founder of the Asia Narratives Substack. Einar, great having you. And let's start off with, in terms of movie and the showbiz, how are Chinese movie tech developers performing?
Well, Diego, China is always underestimated. People don't realize the impact that China has had. If you go back to all the CGI early ones, regardless of what you're talking about, almost all of it was done, post-production stuff was done in China. In fact, I have a friend whose company did most of it. They provided the bodies that were doing it. Now, whereas they used to have thousands of employees, laboring over the, making the hair on the panda move in the wind, now that is all basically done by AI, and that is having a huge impact, as is the potential of having actors, not as actors as we know them, or even voiceovers, but as entities, AI entities that can do everything themselves. In fact, if you go back last year, when there was a huge strike in Hollywood, it was all about AI, whereas China tends to embrace it.
You're bringing up AI, you're bringing up the evolution of AI. We spoke recently about DeepSeek. I'd like to get a sense of how you see the trends. What do you think is next for Chinese AI, in the movies or beyond?
Well, AI has huge applications. It's really about automating processes and optimizing business decisions. Operational efficiency. If, for instance, if you want to automate a routine task, streamline processes, enhance productivity, very good. But it's still a tool. It doesn't think by itself. It's not going to come up with a movie idea and then produce it and start putting it out on the airwaves. And people should realize that there's kind of two parts to AI. One is, chatbots that can handle inquiries, and the other one is like what they call machine learning algorithms. These optimize things like supply chain, logistics, and things like that. When it comes to the movies, it's really about the production side of it, which used to be extremely expensive. You would have your shooting outside, and then you'd go into post-production. That could take months, even years. And there's a lot of effort put into cutting, splicing, even changing the story sometimes based on what the director wants. Now, a lot of that can be optimized and shortened in terms of time. That means that efficiency, once again, very important.
You're mentioning a number of different AI applications. By any chance, do you see, China best suited in a specific field of AI?
Well, this is the thing. Everyone, as I said, everyone underestimates China. Your previous guest was talking about, well, I don't really know if China can make it. Well, they said that about the entertainment industry, about manufacturing, about technology development, even about AI itself. China has a tremendous number of engineers. It has 6 times the number of engineers that the U.S. does, and it has 4 times as many people. But still, that's 50% more on a per-person basis. And then you start looking at the actual numbers; it's huge. And these are the brain power that is going to push all of these areas. So this idea that China is in some sort of pigeonhole, I think that's old thinking, and I think that's been clearly demonstrated.
But I'd like to turn it around, right? Because at a country level, AI is also very energy intensive. As China works to improve its AI, will there be enough power?
Well, I think that's, once again, Diego, that's the old thinking. The whole thing about DeepSeek is that it uses 1/11th or 1/16th, depending on who you're talking to, of the energy that was necessary to run these proprietary systems. Now, if you're listening to this, you have to understand there's something called open development. This relies on large communities of people who are sharing things. It's not proprietary. It's a lot less expensive, and that's where China has been heading. There are proprietary models. This is the ones people know in terms of OpenAI and ChatGPT and all these types of things. But they come at a cost. They might be a little bit more polished, but they're not customizable. So I think China will be at the forefront of open AI. Intense competition will push it to create the kind of products and services that people actually want. Whereas the proprietary systems, they're good at giving you a kind of off-the-shelf solution. Might be good for big enterprises, but doesn't make them very nimble.
Einar Tangen, thank you. Great having you.